And now to our continued coverage of Hurricane Harvey. With a death toll up to at least 40 now, this tropical depression is showing no mercy. Harvey is now moving through the southeast, making its way into Mississippi. Although the storm has moved on from Texas, its aftermath is far from over. RT's Trinity Chavez is joining us live now from our New York studio. Hi, Trinity. You've been keeping an eye on this situation all week.
Yes, Manila. Well, as you said, the situation is far from being over. As this storm is on the move, flash flood warnings have been issued throughout Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and the Carolinas. Meanwhile, in Houston, while the area is drying out, officials are now able to determine the extent of the damage. The mayor said that he will request a preliminary financial aid package of $75 million just for debris removal alone. But officials say that it's still too early to determine the overall cost. FEMA officials said that already more than $57 million in individual assistance has already been paid out. But some experts estimate that the Harvey damage can cost anywhere between $50 to $100 billion. And they said it could take years to recover. But the mayor of Houston is hopeful, and he says that Houston is open for business, and he thinks that the community will be back on its feet in less than a year.
The city of Houston, and let me just speak into all of the cameras, the city of Houston is open for business. And quite frankly, we're open for business right now. Let me tell you one of the reasons why I think we will be back within a year, if not less. And that's because of the people in the city corporations and people that are just going over and above, showing their support early.
But the mayor warns that the flooding will continue for the next 10 to 15 more days, but because officials have released water from the reservoirs. But while Houston is in recovery mode, other areas in Texas like Kingwood, Port Arthur, and Beaumont are still underwater. Beaumont's drinking water is still cut off since the water supply was knocked out by the storm, and that means around 120,000 people do not have a drinking water system, and officials can't even start fixing it until the water recedes. Although officials don't know exactly how long that's going to take, they hope that it'll get back up and running within a week's time. But still, many residents are concerned about how they're going to bathe and what they're going to drink until then. However, officials are trying to bring in enough bottled water for everyone. Meanwhile, in Crosby, Texas, residents and officials are still bracing for more fires to occur at the ARCMA chemical plant. Earlier this week, there were 2 fires that broke out after a massive flood waters knocked out the electricity and 2 backup sources. A chemical reaction caused the fires, which released noxious fumes. Residents within a 1.5 mile radius have remained evacuated.
And Trinity, I know you said some floodwaters are receding and other areas of Texas are still underwater. What kind of health risk does that pose for the community?
This is a huge health and safety hazard. This flood water that we are seeing is brown. It's murky. The EPA is now warning those in the flood zone of possible toxic water. This water is infested with everything from bacteria, garbage, debris, fire ants, even crocodiles. And the list goes on and on. Flooded sewers are fueling fears of cholera, typhoid, and other infectious diseases, not to mention if there's an oil or gas leak at one of the refineries or chemical plants. We just spoke about the 2 fires that happened at the ARCMA chemical plant, and more are expected. Right now, we do not know exactly how harmful this water really can be, but even when the floodwater passes, the danger in the floodwater will still linger for a while. Houston health officials are urging people to stay out of the floodwater if they can, saying that it's filled with contaminants and it's a growing health risk.
All right, Trinity Chavez reporting in New York. Thank you.